shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Oh, I think they're doing a great job. A lot of them are.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. How are you?
Not too bad, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today with Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Well, I really enjoy this program today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
May God bless every person.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. It is indeed a terrific Tuesday. We have good things in store for you as we start off our discussion. The good friends from the Cayman Heart Fund, as we invite you to be a part of the discussion. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is brought to you by Fidelity Bank. For all your banking needs, visit fidelitygroup.com. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email talktoday@candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255. Courtesy of Flow,
Cayman's #1 network that connects you to your world like never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome. Thanks for joining us as we have another opportunity to talk to our friends over at Cayman Heart Fund. And we have the coordinator, Ms. Angelique Borden, join us.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, man, excellent. I tell you, I was just looking at the calendar and I'm almost thinking out loud, mumbling to myself, today's the 17th of September.
Already? Yes.
And it was just yesterday, Susan was giving me Valentine's chocolates. And I can't believe it. You know, and I was eating them then too. No, but I still have to recognize how quickly time flies, but equally how much we can do and how much, when we think of what we should be doing, we sort of fail to appreciate the importance of our health and the wealth that is in our health and the importance of taking care of that health, that wealth, as it were. So I'm grateful that the Cayman Heart Fund has been able to champion not just a healthy lifestyle, but to be heart healthy in a respect. So anxiously anticipating what you're going to be sharing with us.
We're happy to be here as well.
And when we look at the idea that we talk about issues like World sort of Heart Day, for instance, and the growing importance of seeing, and I reference Valentine's because we think of the heart, we think of it from that perspective. I think of is it the Santana song, Susan? Mi corazón espinado, and it's not just my Spanish is probably only better than my USBs, but the idea that the heart is that central focus and how easy it is for us to ignore the importance of being heart healthy. So to have an organization like the Cayman Heart Fund to remind us.
Yes, we have a lot of things going on. World Heart Day, we have 2 campaigns going on at the moment. We have Wear Red on September 27th, the Friday before World Heart Day. And take pictures, send it to us, and donate money to Cayman Heart Fund to help raise awareness. We also have an event happening at Cayman Bay on September 29th, Light the Sky Red. So basically, everyone will wear red at that event as well. We'll share some awareness and, there'll be a raffle out.
But it is, I think it's something that when we think of the heart and how sometimes it quickens when you get excited about something or someone, or it could be even a food or a smell.
Yeah.
But then we think about the heart and the perspective of how it causes us sometimes to, as people say, don't just put your head into it, you have to have your heart into it. But then the notion, whether it's a congenital sort of birth defect, whether it's something that you develop over time because of lifestyle. Some of us don't eat, exercise, sleep, we don't rest properly.
Bad habits.
Bad habits, right? And yet we can see from our physicians that these lifestyle illnesses can be reversed if we were willing to be disciplined and to make a concerted effort. But sometimes we just don't know. We don't feel like we have sufficient information and access.
I don't think it's that we don't know. I think that some of us choose not to do the right thing.
Oy. Thank you for chastising me. But that's just it. So these events help us to be mindful. Thanks, Ms. Susan, of what it is. So as World Heart Day approaches next weekend,
yes.
Right? Next Saturday, we can do a fair bit, and then by a sea of red, we can sort of see without any great effort on our part how we can be conscious of part of it.
Come out to Cayman Bay at 6 p.m. We're starting. We're wearing red. And we're going to share some awareness about World Heart Day.
Yeah, man. And now for those who are maybe interested in being a part of Cayman Heart Fund, want more information, website, online, what's the best way? Follow you guys?
Well, we'll have a station set up out there at the event where you can sign up to be a volunteer, or if you want to donate, you can sign up to donate as well. But if you have any questions, you can email me at info@caymanheartfund.com.
All right. That's the best thing, because I think as we look at it, we've seen whether you're, just maybe at a certain stage in your life when you start to appreciate how if you want to be active in the next 40 years as you were in the first 40, you got to be, heart health and heart conscious. Or whether you're looking at your young family and you want them to be actively engaged and have that, healthy lifestyle. It's never too old, never too young. Whether 4 months or 40 years, you can still be heart healthy.
Yes.
All right. So, Cayman Heart Funds, as we celebrate the World Heart Day. What else you want to tell us about the Cayman Heart Fund and some of the other things coming up?
Well, we have an event coming up along with the Cayman Boxing Association. It's Know Your Numbers. It will be held at the Truman Bodden Sports Complex. More on the Cayman boxing side. We will be doing screenings, and then there will be a fair. There'll be food and bouncing castle for the kids, giveaways, etc.
Yeah, and we see too, athletes, but a boxer in particular, the level of endurance, not just the agility, but the fact that athlete in the ring is constantly moving and controlling the breathing, controlling the heart. You can see that fitness puts them through, whether it's amateur for the first 3 rounds or whether it's professional bout and they have to go the distance in the 12. That heart's ability to be properly functioning, it's important.
Yes, athletes are encouraged to come out and get tested. And it's going to be October 26th at the Truman Bodden Sports Complex.
Well, we're starting to have more opportunity to talk with the Boxing Association and the Heart Fund reps as we get closer. But for now, again, I think that's a Saturday as well, right?
Yes, that's a Saturday.
So that way we can make a note. Probably if I think of the calendar for the schools, there's a midterm break for some of the schools, I believe. So it's a good way for parents, teachers to get their students, their children out and to realize whether you're actively involved in some of the sports or whether you're just recreational exercising. But either way, you have to be healthy, and this is another opportunity to have fun and to get the numbers on the sort of within your grasp. Huh?
Yes.
I know my number is 1-800-534-TALK, but that's a different number. Do we know our BMI? Do we know all the other things? Do we know what they mean? Well, sometimes we hear them and we don't know. This is another occasion that the Heart Fund, I guess, in this time partnership with the Boxing Association, to be able to give the people the chance to hear.
Well, there'll be a physician out there who will explain the numbers to the people who come out to get screened. And basically, the physician will tell you whether you need to follow up with go to the doctor or advise you on how to get your numbers better, etc.
And sometimes, what we've come to understand is that these fairs, these events, unlike when you make an appointment, you may have to make wait a day or two or a week or a month or a year, sometimes to see that physician. these events sometimes are better because it's happening right within your life, and at that point in time.
And you get your results right away.
Right away. And it's better, right? Well, Miss Angelique, it's always a pleasure. And I know you've got a taxing schedule as you always do. What else you want to share with us in closing?
Okay. I can share about the upcoming CPR training with St. Matthews. If you want to sign up, there is one coming up the 28th of September. There's another on October 5th. So you can email me at info at caymanheartfund.com, and I'll send you all the information about CPR BLS training, and you can sign up today. Reasonable pricing. It's good to be educated about these things so that you can help someone or a family member in need.
Okay, you never know. You could be a co-worker, it could be on vacation, it could be, as you said, someone within your family. It could be at a function. Just having that added training could really help that person who's at that point in time in need until the paramedics, the physicians, and the others arrive. Huh?
Yes, it can be very beneficial.
Life-saving as it is. All right. Well, I'm always grateful that you take a few minutes and come and remind us not just of what the Cayman Heart Fund is up to, but equally, the things that we can do in our communities to help make it better.
Sure.
Right. Well, enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you.
And information at caymanheartfund.com is there. It was a pleasure, Miss Angelique.
It was a pleasure being here as well.
All right. So, next weekend, as we celebrate, whether we lighten up, whether we dress down, whether we're part of it, always as the weeks and months roll on, we'll hear more. All right. Let's pause and take a short break. There's Miss Susan next door. I'm in the studio. We've got a couple of things that are happening in our communities that we want to share with you. But when we come back, we'll ask you to join us again. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Think about something that makes you happy. Did it make you smile? We know it did, because that's what we do at Sagicor. Put smiles on our clients' faces every day. With a large range of products to cover your family, it's no wonder most locals choose Sagicor for their life insurance needs. Serving the community for over 25 years. Let us put a smile on your face. Call your Sagicor advisor today.
King Sports Center takes pride in being more than just an ordinary gymnasium. For 14 years, their multi-purpose facility has been providing the community with a variety of sporting, recreational, and relaxation activities. King Sports Center has a bowling alley, lounge bar, multi-purpose rooms, powerhouse gym, rock climbing wall, bungee jumping, a 10,000 square foot rink, and so much more. For more information on the variety of services, call their friendly staff today at 946-5464 or email kings@candw.ky or visit www.kingsportscenter.com. King Sports Center, your one-stop shop for fitness, recreation, and relaxation.
Work will soon launch Jobs Cayman, an online system that allows registered users to access job postings created by registered employers. This system offers a better approach to facilitate Caymanians in finding employment and allows employers to search for qualified and skilled Caymanians who are seeking employment. For more information on the registration process and what you need to register, visit www.worc.ky. Work, leading the pursuit of full Caymanian employment and economic prosperity for all through service excellence.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome. Thank you for joining us. 949-8037, 949-6990. Let's have a couple of minutes of open line as we transition to our next segment and invite you to call and share your thoughts with us. Wow. If you ever say that there isn't anything to do in Cayman, that you get bored because you live on a little rock, and I know some of us say it in such a way that we don't always mean, or we certainly probably don't even intend when we do say it, when we refer to the country as a little 2x4 island, that we only implying that it's so small. But man, for a small place, a lot of miles of paved roads, a lot of traffic, and sadly, growing frustration on the roads because we're trying to get somewhere. Not just because they're needed in ongoing road works, but there's so many people. And a fella said to me this morning, he said, he's glad that there's 3 of us in the car and 2 of us aren't driving, because man, if he was driving, how frustrating it is. But by sitting and chatting, not just an initiative to try to carpool and save, not in his case, on emissions, but mostly on, economics. Some people are cheap, might just drive together and save fuel, save money. But a chance to chat, and you're going from A to B, and you may be sitting in traffic half an hour or an hour and a half. You can get through a lot. Sit side by side, you can take notes. One person is driving, contributing when necessary, being attentive. The others don't have to. And I say that to share because he said 2 things. One, remember he said long ago when we were complaining as a country that the Speaker of the House or the Premier or senior sort of elected members of society, when we were giving them vehicles, how we thought that was inappropriate. He thought, that's a great thing, because if they're going to be moving, let's not dismiss how important time is and how valuable it is. And yet when we have other people being chauffeured, we're okay with it, but when it's our own, and that was the crux of what he was sharing, we don't seem to have sufficient respect for our own people, for ourselves, and for our society. As he referenced the notion that we talk about Cayman, not always meaning to be disparagingly, and sort of even vitriolic when we make our responses to those who say that it's a 2x4 island. But recognizing that if it is in fact a very small place, are we going to continue to develop the physical landmass, increase the actual size of the population to the point where it becomes so congested that the quality of life is so impacted in a negative way that you can't enjoy it? And he shared, like many, you go to the beach, for instance, and it's crowded from the perspective that you're used to seeing only a few people in the sparsely populated, to now you're seeing maybe hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and not just on the days that there are cruise ship passengers, but going forward, will it even be worse than that? Now he shared, how do you balance the growth in the population and the economy with the potential opportunities for the population to venture into other business endeavors, the budding entrepreneur, for instance, that company that wants to expand, but equally to provide this attractive setting for others to come and invest. That, and then the politicians, their handlers, advisors, their benefactors, and the like, would want to maybe impact the country in a way relative to this physical landscape, maybe to its overall design and development, and to what it's going to look like in 50 years. Now, some of us, he shared, isn't thinking that way. So you outlined, as we were chatting, a few things that he thought were being ignored, talked about, but not sufficiently addressed. And the sad thing is that we don't necessarily recognize that that power, that drive must rest within the people, and not only something that comes up during election year or when something happens and then we respond to it. So we quickly chastise, castigate, and somehow point fingers at the politicians as to why they didn't do it. Well, he thought, why isn't it that we being the wider populace, looking at it from the perspective? And maybe there's some other things, as he shared his notes with me, that we were talking about, I thought would be interesting. But the final thing, though, I thought was quite striking, Some of us, when we talk, we like to sketch, we like to write, and I don't know, maybe present what we want in sort of a graphical sort of kind of way. Others, we just do little notes and words. Some of us, we talk more with our hands than we do with anything else. But he did a quick sketch as we talk about revitalizing Georgetown. And he said, what if the physical landscape of Georgetown looked? And he gave me two options. Now, he's perhaps more artistic than some of us, certainly more than I am. But he said, we talk about his iconic tower. Well, I'll probably share with you what his sentiments were. But he said, well, what if it looked like this? And he picked up words that talked about it. Maybe it looked like a sail or the like, and mimicking other iconic buildings around the globe. And whether it was anchored offshore, or whether it was on the way the port is now, whether it was further inland, near somewhere, perhaps where the center of town is, in the sense of the village and surrounding areas. And what if this was not just 50 stories, but maybe higher? What if it's residential and other sort of uses within it? Then they say, well, what if it wasn't like that, this modern futuristic society? What if it was a throwback to 100, 200 years ago? Low-rise buildings, this sort of Caribbean colonial architecture, where you're seeing buildings with balconies and a lot of overflow into wide streets and little or no vehicular traffic. Now, would that bode well for what the future would look like, or would it need to be this heavily futuristic society with heavy technology and high-rise buildings and accommodating a population that was not 100,000 but maybe 200,000? And as he took the two sheets of paper and sort of put them side to side, as he opened up his ring binder and showed me, here's some sketches of what he's looking at. Just a thought, just a guy doodling who believes that we're not thinking as to what the country is like. But his parting words in that respect was, why are we doing that only for Georgetown? Why not Bordentown? Why not other districts? And why not look at the design in such a way that future generations that came on can look with pride, and it isn't this thing that is a monument onto one or a select few. Well, with that, let me pause and take a break and invite you to join us. We'll take an early break. We'll get a chance to invite Miss Erin Borden from Meals on Wheels into her studio to share with you some of the things coming up. Then at 1 o'clock, after headline news, a chance to continue discussion. And as we go through the day, we're highlighting many things that are unfolding within our community. And then we conclude with our friends from the Health Services Authority to share with you some more. 949-8037 or toll free with the compliments of Flo at 1-800-534-8255. Anything we say, anytime you want to share, any comment you want to make, any question you want to pose, anything you're seeking, perhaps more clarity. Hey, if we can help, certainly we'll provide opportunity. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Come on, get ready for this year's 2019 Fidelity Fun Run Series. Join us opposite John Gray High School for the first 3 Saturdays in September at 7:30 a.m. for an exciting 2-mile run. Whether you're a serious competitor looking for a fun family activity or you want to take an early stroll, the Fidelity Fun Run Series is the event for you. Strollers and pets are welcome, and we've got trophies up for grabs as well. Register today for the races on September 7th, 14th, and 21st. And get your Fun Run t-shirt. To register, visit CaymanActive.com for more information.
We at The Wharf have the only multi-purpose conference room in Cayman, providing high-speed internet and all state-of-the-art audio and visual, and are now open and ready for your meetings and events. Multiple wireless microphones and Dolby surround speakers make your presentations on the giant screen clear and interactive. Imagine your meetings with a view, a full bar and kitchen on site where all your needs are cared for, just a few steps away from the Caribbean Sea. All F&B will be customized to your preference. Call 949-2231 or email info@wharf.ky to start planning your waterfront meeting now.
The Cayman Islands Cancer Society presents Conquering Cancer 6. Let's fight cancer together. This event will offer you information about new and innovative ways of screening, diagnosing, and treating cancer. Come and learn from the top medical professionals from leading healthcare providers from near and far. The event takes place at the Marriott Beach Resort the 21st of September. This interactive health fair is free to the public of all ages and will include free healthcare screenings for glucose level, blood pressure, BMI, and cholesterol, as well as free health food samples.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's back. And this year, it's bigger and better than ever. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman presents PACE, the 8th annual Delano Hislop Memorial Journey for Life, 5K walk, 10K run, and introducing the all-new 15K ride event. That's right, parents, kids, young and old. Come out on Sunday, September 22nd at the all-new starting location at the all-new Jasmine Building, adjacent to Coconut Joe's parking lot. Also, participants who raise the most funds can win one of our 3 grand prizes. $250 for third place, $500 for second place, or the $1,000 grand prize. Other random prizes will be available on site. So Cayman, it's time to get active. Sign up today at caymanactive.com/pace to be a part of the 5K walk, 10K run, and the all-new 15K ride event. Sponsored in part by DART, CUC, Cayman Water Company, the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association, Consolidated Water, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, Water Authority Cayman, Borden Holdings, BF Insurance, Cineco, and the Maples Group.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. Thank you for joining us in the studio with Aaron Borden as we have a chance to chat about Meals on Wheels. And Ms. Aaron, I hope that you will permit me to say just quickly. When I see you either at your desk, and that desk is sort of the Cayman Islands, not just a little cubicle tucked away somewhere behind a closet, or whether I see you out in the public, not only reminding the public of the Meals on Wheels program, not just, I don't want to say soliciting funds, but inviting the public to partner. Are you here sharing information? The enthusiasm, that passion, that conviction, and gladly, there are a lot more of us increasingly who are doing likewise when it comes to the element of community engagement. But you bring a level of passion and energy that it is very, very motivating. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me on and for tolerating me harassing you whenever I find you in the grocery store, wherever you go.
Not at all, man. Not at all. You whatever role and hats that you wore in the past, and you reached out to me. I like people who are dedicated, who have a sense of commitment, who have a strong work ethic, whose ethos is about service and how do I contribute more. Sometimes, sadly, we take advantage of that, and what they say, you find a good horse, and but maybe, and I see this with you, maybe more of us would see that in others, just like we see within the service clubs. There are always a growing contingent, I put it that way, I'll be optimistic, who grab them, the reins and jump on board and say, okay, let me help, because, Tom, Molly, and Susan are going to be working, let me just see if I can help them as well. So I think with that sort of example, more of us will come on board with the time, with the talent, or with the treasure.
For sure. And that's what we're looking for, right? That's what we're looking for.
That's it. That's what we need. Well, thanks very much. And before we jump into it, Meals on Wheels, for those who perhaps don't know, quick overview. What is Meals on Wheels?
Sure. Well, we're a registered nonprofit organization in the Cayman Islands that serves seniors and disabled individuals in our community who are in need. We provide a nutritious hot meal once a day, middle of the day, and a soup. And that sort of, sometimes some people will share that over the day so that they'll have a lunch and dinner. And then other people, they'll find other means for those other meals. But, it's a lifeline for a number of individuals in our community, 217 at the moment to be exact. And we also provide a little bit of, friendship or camaraderie through our volunteer service, because we have over 100 volunteers who go out every day and go and meet these individuals in their time of need, and they formulate friendships, and I think it's a big part of the success of the program, not just here in the Cayman Islands but worldwide. And it's all about basically making sure that they're safe. It's a security check, a safety feature, and also that they are, okay for the day, that they have some social interaction for the day.
And that's the thing, that idea of that fellowship, that camaraderie, that social interaction. Well, we don't see even, and as I saw you, it's okay, over the weekend, we just quickly confirmed up everything. We don't realize sometimes, even those of us who are involved or attentive, we're not there 24 hours of that day, not just when they're asleep, but we may only check in on them a couple of times throughout the day. There's a period of time when they're to their own sort of devices, to their own thoughts, and thankfully they may be healthy, they may be mobile, but they're alone. What are they thinking? What are they feeling? What are they sensing as they look? And I share that because prior to coming on, I had a chance to chat with her. Now, I think of him as an elderly gentleman, in every sense of the word. Gentleman, like you would not believe. Always, my mother would say, put together, always dressed well. But when you see his level of activity, okay, he's not going to sprint and beat Carl Lewis in a 4x4, right? 4x4. But he will still be able to run and get there, faster than many of us. But there is not just a patience nor a persistence, but there is this notion about him that until he draws his last breath, he's going to be fighting, and that will is to continue. And he was sharing that recently he got a chance to travel and visit some of the family that has scattered around the globe. Our people are sort of global, and he was in a particular place. I don't want to maybe speak ill, but I told him I would reference to that point when I thought it was opportune. Well, now it is. And he hadn't been there in a while, so it's unfamiliar. So as some of the family went out for a little bit, he said, no, I'll just stay because nice park is right there. There's this other thing that's right there. Let me just see. So he went in, beautiful afternoon, and it was just him. He thought, it's the first time that he was sort of alone in a while, and alone in a relatively new place. And the thoughts that he had, and he said, he couldn't help. The tears came. Mm-hmm. He was thinking of, wow, I'm age X. Mm-hmm. Most of my contemporaries are no longer on this side of, of heaven, as it were. Mm-hmm. And,
Absolutely. I think there's a feeling of desperation in a sense, a feeling that, what skills they were able to bring in the past, it's possible that they're not able to bring those same skills, not because they don't want to, but because they just physically aren't able anymore. Yeah. And so there's this sort of feeling of, well, I must be useless. Well, of course, that's not true. But, those are, as you say, your mind plays tricks on you. Yeah. The devil starts, whispering things in your ear. And so that's where having that smile in the middle of the day during lunch hour, saying, how are you today? What can I do for you today? Hearing about, the latest grandchild that's been born. You know what I mean? Those things, when they get to, and to see their smile on their face is just such a blessing to our volunteers as well. Yeah. I mean, if you talk to the number of volunteers that I do that say it's more of a blessing to me than it is to them.
Well, something, if you'll permit me, and maybe those who listen will chastise me, because I say this not for them but for me. I sometimes fail to realize how impatient we get. Not that we mean to be, not that we're trying to be disrespectful, and usually it's with our family or our parents or grandparents. We want to do this thing for them, whatever it is. They need it done, you're happy to do it, you can do it. But they take a long time and explain to you what they want done. Maybe all it is take this letter to the post to send it, that's it. So tell me, you want me to take this letter to the post and, send it? But they tell you about, and then 50 hours later, you're still waiting for the letter, right? Right. And so you get impatient, but, and for me, I need to learn, okay, just hang on. That story will eventually get to its conclusion. Let me recognize that maybe down the road I'll be on that end with the letter in my hand, I think there'll be post offices till then. I don't know. Waiting to give it to somebody who hopefully is as loving, kind, gentle, respectful, and waiting to eagerly take it to the post and have it sent. But we don't see that. And I think that those volunteers who come and they bring a meal, and yes, they've got only a limited time because they'll take more. Just a familiar face, a warm word, a loving gesture. It sounds like nothing, but it's a big deal.
It sure is, yeah.
All right. So, seniors rock, huh?
That's
I
right.
like it. I like the shirts, man.
They're lots of fun. And yeah, we've got our dress down day, and we're asking Cayman to rock orange for the day in honor of our seniors. So Friday the 27th of September, we've got T-shirts for $15, ribbons for $5, and wristbands for $3. And you can get in touch with us at 769-1974 or info@mealsonwheels.ky, and we will get you your merchandise. We can actually deliver it to your office if you've got like a group order you want to get together, or you can find us at Foster's at the Strand or Cost You Less this weekend on Saturday. We'll be there all day long. That's how I found Mr. Sterling.
Again.
I just follow him around. But yeah, if you head out to the supermarket, the Strand or Cost You Less, you can pick them up from us physically at that location, or just send us an email or phone, and we'll get in touch with you and get it all sorted.
I think that it's important for people to recognize orange is a beautiful color, but don't expect to look as good in orange as Rob does. Okay, it's just not possible. I don't care, whether you look like Schwarzenegger or The Rock, or whether you're one of those younger people. No, you just won't look as good.
That's right.
Rob rocks the orange.
He sure does, and we're so grateful. Actually, we have a Oktoberfest. We're the recipient, thanks to Market Street Group, on the 28th of September for their thing at Camana Bay. They're doing this big Oktoberfest, and we've got a dunk tank, and Rob will be rocking an orange swim cap and orange swim shorts. So don't miss out if you want to dunk our chairman, Robin Parado. In the dunk tank, raising money for Meals on Wheels, of course.
Yeah,
that's another opportunity to support.
And the thing is, it's the reality. I was sharing earlier an opportunity just to sit and chat, and it just happened that this is how the day materialized. We needed to go from A to B, and he said, "Listen, why don't you come along with me?" We sat in the car. Someone drove. We sat next to him, chatted. He was telling me. And he was talking about a number of things. So you learn if you're willing to listen, and if when you ask a question, the person is receptive to it and is willing to share, an opinion, a view from experience, from perhaps just their expertise. But there needs to be a consciousness that there's a healthy respect, that what is said isn't going to be, sort of betrayed later on down the line. You see it in somebody's memoir.
100%, yeah.
And I'm honored that people will share things like that. So hopefully I never inadvertently say it. If I consciously do it, then I take responsibility. But the gentleman was saying that in our communities, we're seeing the changes that are taking place relative to how difficult it is to make ends meet, how challenging it is. Even those who may believe they've put aside a good little nest egg, that they don't eat as much sometimes, but they can't afford to eat as much. So that soup that you talked about, they have a sip of it now for lunch, and maybe they'll finish it in the afternoon, not because they're full from lunch only, but because, a little bit now and a little bit later is better than having all one time nothing again, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So for those of us who can support Meals on Wheels, and as you shared, it's a growing list, whatever the reasons are. The fact is, if we can respond to volunteering,
that's right,
dressing down and contributing.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you so much.
You're the boss, man. You're the boss. The T-shirts are good. I put it on somebody and it looks good.
Thank you for supporting it. No, they're cute shirts. Zoe Wall from Wall Creations did the design this year, and I think they're quite fun. So
it's how was it? My artistic friends would tell me a shade of orange, I guess, not a color of orange.
A shade.
A shade. Yeah. It's a beautiful shade of orange.
It is. It's nice and bright.
It's nice, man.
Orange is the color of hunger. It's the awareness color of hunger. So, I don't know why. I don't know who came up with that, but that's the truth behind it, and that is why we have orange as our color.
But aren't you glad now you know that? That's the extent of my jokes for the next minute. No, I always appreciate the level of involvement in our community. Truth be told, I'm also sometimes frustrated that more of us are willing to seemingly turn a blind eye. It's okay to get frustrated, just do something about it.
Right, exactly.
It doesn't matter whether it's a politician that we're going to blame, but we're not going to blame them only. We're going to offer a solution. It doesn't matter if you're, that one sole person who don't believe anything. Well, you're walking down the street and there's a piece of trash somewhere. Pick it up. You didn't put it there, but at least you didn't just ignore it. No, different things for different. Anyway,
100%.
All right, it's always a pleasure. What else you want to share with us as we close out the discussion, Miss Erin?
Well, I just want to encourage you, whether it be your church and you do an extra collection for Meals on Wheels, whether you participate in Dress Down Day, whether you are able to do a bake sale, whatever it is that you can do to help raise a little bit of money for Meals on Wheels this month, we just encourage you to do so. And we want to thank Radio Cayman and yourself, as well as Butterfield, who sponsors this event every year. This is their 4th year sponsoring. We're just really thankful. And it's $24,000 cost per month for food alone that we have to raise. And this event goes a long way for that. So.
All right, well, next Friday, we can. And there's a lot is happening in this community. I don't take away. A lot of people are trying to respond in a very positive way for such a small place. And as I reflect on the conversation with the gentleman, some would say 2x4. A lot of need that goes unrecognized, but a lot of good that goes unpublicized as well. But until we all collectively work together, recognizing that we're a brother's keeper, there may be things happening, and we don't really consciously do anything about it. So, thank you, to people like you who publicly are making a difference.
Thank you.
All right, the general manager of Meals on Wheels, Mr. Erin Borden. So next Friday is the Dress Down Day. Consider our t-shirts. Like I said, you look good, but not as good as Rob. But don't let that be your, just let that be your motivator instead. All right. Have a wonderful week. Call us if anything we can do for you.
Thank you so much.
Let's pause and take a break. When we come back, more talk today after the headline news at 1. And, I was looking at my notes and I was thinking, Santana, I've been playing in my head. And is it Amor? Then I realized, no, it's Armor. It just depends how you say it. So it's not Amor Expo, it's Armor. Well, I'll tell you about it in a second because Miss Webster joins us. Hey, if I can't laugh and you're not willing to laugh at me, well, then we'll be frowning. So I'd rather do it the other way around. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
The Office of Education Standards trains its latest group of associate inspectors to boost the team to 18. 11 educators from Cayman schools and early years centers, as well as other education specialists, attended a 2-day interactive course last week. Having successfully completed their training, they will now shadow experienced team members during in-school inspections. In international news, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's career was on the line today as Israel held its second national election this year, with voters deciding whether to give him another term in office, despite a likely indictment on corruption charges. The longest-serving leader in Israeli history was seeking a 4th consecutive term in office and 5th overall, but he faced a stiff challenge from retired military chief Benny Gantz, whose centrist blue and white party is running even with Netanyahu's Likud party. Both parties could struggle to form a majority coalition with smaller allies, though, forcing them into a potential unity government. Separate attacks by suicide bombers, one targeting President Ashraf Ghani's election rally, and a second that ripped through the center of the Afghan capital, killed at least 48 people and wounded scores more today in the deadliest single day since a peace agreement with Taliban insurgents was declared dead. Taliban declared responsibility for both blasts. Those are your headlines. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm April Cummings.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
What's happening in your community? News and information, music, and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
I've got some beautiful clothes. I I know just where they go, Puritan Cleaners.
Puritan Cleaners. Ask about our ongoing discounts. Puritan Cleaners now using the most popular and eco-friendly cleaning solvents. 3 convenient locations to serve you. Savannah, Countryside, Elgin Avenue, Georgetown, and Eastern Avenue, Georgetown. Drive through, rain or shine. Free pickup and delivery. Call Puritan Cleaners at 949-7104. You feel good when you look good.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions.
The public is safe.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. Thank you for joining us. And if your day is like, the one summer we're having not long ago where we looked at the clouds and there was a dark, dreary, sort of a grey haze in the sky, you felt down, well, I hope it's better now, because as I hopefully would encourage you not only to listen to us on the radio, because I love the radio, but Miss Susan reminds me, and I always seem to ignore, but I won't today. Is it YouTube? You go online and you log on to our YouTube channel and you watch us streaming live. Not as famous and as fabulous as Mr. O.C. when you catch him on, CIG 20, when you turn on your TV, you see this handsome gentleman there, for the record. But hey, nonetheless, my guests are always beaming, always wonderful. And today, Miss Pamela Webster from East Shore. I was trying to joke earlier, and I was saying sometimes words, we try to be fancy and we misspeak, and then sometimes we be conscious to do it. So when you look at English and Spanish, sometimes there are some words, and armor, and if you want to be fancy, amor. But no, I won't even phrase it again.
Yeah, you can love the conference again. You can give some amor to Armor Expo. Sure, I love it.
I like it. All right. Well,
yeah, me too.
No, but the thing is, when we look at the Cayman marketplace, when we look at security, when we look at the idea that increasingly businesses are recognizing the importance of protecting their data, the sense of security and confidence that clients have in engaging in this cyber world, as it were. It's important that we have that information, and we see legislation globally trying to protect data protection legislation. But hey, tell us more about it, Ms. Palm.
Well, it's timely because the data protection law is imminent. We're days away. Mm-hmm. So basically, we do try to help regional businesses across the Caribbean in 9 countries. Last year, we took Armor Expo, and that's to arm ourselves, arm our families, arm our communities against the bad things in the cyber world. Internet hackers, phishing. And this is the 3rd year of Armor Expo. And we did it last year in Trinidad as well. And it was scheduled to be next week in Bahamas. So this is the big news. So thank you for having us here today. We had to dance pretty quickly because the sponsors there were the government and the central bank and even a company in Freeport. So we moved it back to Cayman at the Marriott on October 4th. It's a Friday. It's a half day. And we have our top speakers back, author, TED Talks, MVP. But the big news is all ticket sales. With the ticket for this cybersecurity conference used to be $495. It's actually $99 this year. And all ticket proceed sales are going to the Red Cross, Bahamas Dorian Relief. And if people get their tickets this week, before September 30th, there's an anonymous donor at the Red Cross who will double all the donations. So your $99 ticket for this fabulous conference that is going from strength to strength will actually end up being a $200 Red Cross donation. So for us, there's no reason not to come. There are limited seats, so you can give us a call at the office. I'll give you the phone number, and you can come down. We're in Heroes Square, but it's 946-3673 at Eashore, who's the diamond sponsor. We have lots of other great partners with us this year, too. But the conference is definitely, all proceeds are going to go to Red Cross. So we really think that's a spin. We want you to come learn a little and give a lot.
Give a lot and learn a little. And that's the idea, too, as you were sharing, that, it's unfortunate. And sometimes we don't see how things affect the marketplace in one particular jurisdiction, but companies, individuals, even governments have to continue to provide for their clients as well as for their citizens.
Mm-hmm.
But equally, how another sometimes competitor
Mm.
or certainly another sort of partner can
Mhm.
step up and make sure that not just business continues, but it continues in a better, safer, more stable setting.
Yep.
So on the 4th of October is the conference.
Yes, it's at the Marriott, October 4th at 12:30. And we have four fantastic speakers. One, I've got the book here today, and a lot of Cayman companies and Bahama companies know of Joy. And Joy Baldridge is a fantastic motivational speaker. So again, remember this conference may be about how to stay safe, but it's not for IT people.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the CEO, the CFO, the compliance officers, anybody who's got a pulse on the business. And Joy does work with a lot of businesses. Her book has sold out 3 times in Cayman, Books and Books already. So she'll be on stage. We're welcoming back J. Peter Bruzzese, who's the Microsoft 8-time MVP Exchange, which is your email expert. And he always talks to us about how we love Office 365. It's fabulous for small business, but it's not completely safe.
Yeah.
You need to layer defense in depth. And so he does a great talk called The Human Firewall. So I would encourage all human resource officers to come because we have something new in this year. So 2 things that are new in 2019. One, most hackers get in by mistaken insiders.
Mm-hmm.
So your IT can't really help from your firewalls on the outside. You need to educate your employees. So we've got cheap, $20 a person, literally a year employee awareness training. So that's something. You have to beef up that human firewall because the bad guys are always a step ahead of us. And another speaker we have is a hacker, Marshall Webb, who started university at age 12. I mean, just incredible. And then his partner, when he started Path Network, now he stops DDoS attacks, which is denial of service. And but his partner had hacked the Russians, who hacked us. So we've got a blend of experts, but something for everybody. Human resources, definitely compliance, CEOs, and it's going to be a great afternoon. It always is. And
as you share the idea of the human firewall, as you call it, you recognize that sometimes either very inadvertently, someone sends you something, happy birthday, oh, by the way, here's a special offer from, and it looks legit, but not being an IT person, being, you click on it, you open it up, and all of a sudden it unleashes something that gets into your network, and all of a sudden your IT people are scrambling because there is a threat within the system.
Or even worse, it's not all of a sudden. The average time that something will be lurking in your systems before your guy named Joe finds it, and I'm not picking on anyone, but usually if you're a small business and you got a guy named Joe, he's not going to know jack. He's not going to know what to look for inside the systems. You have to take a little step further. We saw one last week, and I'll tell you who the new targets are as well. Small architecture firms. We saw a catering company last week. Let's get real that our large banks and our largest law firms, they've got teams of experts. So the bad guys know the low hanging fruit are people that are going to pretend to be a third party vendor. They're going to pretend to be a utility. They're going to pretend to be a water company, a gardening company, a cleaning company, and they're going to ask you to send this, to pay this invoice in a wire transfer. And that's not a real invoice, and the wire transfer is just taking your money. So we do need to teach the small and medium-sized businesses, that's, who I really encourage to come to this. And again, all the money from the ticket sales are going to go to the Red Cross. So again, learn a little, give a lot.
And I like the notion of not just providing the needed and timely information to secure not just the business but to protect the business, especially in light of what we expect to be a very robust enforcement of the new data protection legislation, not just in this jurisdiction, but
no,
globally.
not just yet. Yeah, and that's the thing is, basically we're just from the firm factor. We always say that old Tom Cruise movie. Ever since then, we've got a target on our back. And gosh, I wish we had some lobbyists in Hollywood to tell them that anytime a script comes out with the word Cayman, we take it out. But there's not much we can do about that. We have a target on our back for being a wealthy financial center. So the only thing we can do is shore it up. And if something bad happens in Barbados or Bermuda or Bahamas, it does have a knock-on effect to the whole financial industry here. So the more that we can arm ourselves against what's coming down the pipe and arm our employees to make good decisions from an employee awareness standpoint, it's a win-win.
Yeah, and that's something that you shared, and those who spend time with me quietly know that I love words, not just the semantics, but the way words can be placed, and your title for your armor, and then when you look at the word armor, if you put it together, right? But you're not just providing armor, you provide an opportunity to arm ourselves so that we are responsive in a timely way. We equip, and not just as you shared, the top organizations who deploy teams of well-paid, trained experts that are resourced, but the small company, handful of employees, maybe only 2 people, maybe it's a one-person organization.
I got a 2-person law firm last week, and then a 10-person architecture firm. But the other thing is, last year when we did ARMA, with the people be back as Psy Kids. We have cyber security for families, where we. I think I was on radio last week saying to people, don't click on anything, but here's what if you're going to, how to shore up your passwords and 2-factor authentication and single sign-on, and a lot of these things are free. But we will have where the kids are teaching the parents again how to be safe. Because if you ever want to know how to be, how to find something, hand a phone to a teenager. But so we will have a little bit back of the community effort between the Red Cross and the Psy Kids. But it's for anybody in business. It's only half a day. There'll be a cocktail party afterwards. Again, these speakers that are coming down, Trust Wave and Mimecast, who we absolutely love. Sentinel-1 is next generation antivirus. Zerto, which is replication, not just data backups. It's complete failover. And we've had a lot of success with that, especially in hurricanes. When something's coming, you need I'm a twin. You need an exact copy of yourself ready to go, right? So we have a lot of fun with it. But I do know that, if anyone who's attended the last 3 years, they will tell you that it absolutely has been a great way to knowledge. And we moved it further after school started. So now we're in October. I moved from Bahamas. And, I think this is really for human resources, CFOs, CEOs, business owners. They will walk away with a really good idea of how just over the weekend they can keep their own systems safe without paying a big IT bill.
I think that's the challenge that we all have, even if you, as you referenced, and even within our homes. Sometimes we're online ourselves. We're trying to maybe pay some bills and do some banking. We're corresponding with things. Sometimes we take our work at home and access our networks. And inadvertently, very unconsciously, we're given access to different people unknowingly.
Well, that's one of the best examples of an insider. So basically, let's just say I'm here at work at Radio Cayman, and a friend of mine sends me their CV to my Hotmail address. Now, I'm going to want to send that to Human Resources. Now, I forward that from my personal email address, which is a weaponized attachment. It looks like a Word document, to Human Resources. So now I'm patient zero, and that's going to go across, and maybe that'll get forwarded to finance because it was an accounting resume. Or perhaps I'm surfing the web and I find a link that I find interesting, and I send it to a client who has now sent it to all theirs. So what's new in this year is we actually can remediate something on your own domain. You can go in and neutralize it. There's also things that can detect it to say, wait a minute, somebody in accounting is not used to sending out 50 emails at once to all of our client base in compliance. So we can pick up on those using artificial intelligence and threat recognition. So there's some cool tools that have come out to help the mistaken employee either A, be trained on it, or B, there is an IT tool that will help remediate it and neutralize it within your own environment.
Before it gets out.
Before it gets out to that worldwide wild web.
Yep. And the thing is, sometimes we think either A, we ourselves need to be tech savvy, and we need to be IT specialists, or B, if we're pinching, pennies and counting the numbers, we believe we got to spend a lot of money to be safe. Not always the case, huh?
No. For a small business of, say, 24 people, I'll just had somebody in our office this morning, you're looking at like $1,000 a year to cover all of your employees. That's peanuts. I mean, that's not even what you're going to pay in your washing a car or coffee for the year. So, no, you don't have to have a big budget to do awareness and some best practices. And I've got my tips and tricks. And again, I'll give my personal email that I'm always happy to help small businesses. It's what I do. And it's easy to remember because it's Pamela at webster.ky. So, if anybody wants my tips and tricks or more information about the Armor Expo on October 4th at the Marriott, it starts at 12:30, and it'll be a great day of everyone learning. And we love to educate people.
Yeah, education is key. It's empowering, and it's the way to be safe, whether you're moving place A to place B or otherwise.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a short little break to take, Miss Palmer. When we come back, maybe you can wrap it up and tell us more about the expo.
Sure.
As we arm our... Well, stay tuned for Talk Today.
The Tuesday and Thursday edition of The Business Buzz is brought to you by Cayman Medical Supplies, providing quality pharmaceuticals, medical supplies, and consumer products to healthcare providers, retailers, and ultimately the patients at a reasonable rate in a friendly, caring, and timely manner. Cayman Medical Supplies is located at number 93 Smith Road, Windward Center. Telephone 949-6211.
Attention all gamers. Get ready for the return of the Caribbean's #1 esports event and gaming convention this September 28th and 29th.
That's right. Gamers Bay 4, now a 2-day event. Going down September 28th and 29th, right here in the Cayman Islands.
If you think you have what it takes, you can compete for over $15,000 in cash and prizes. Compete head-to-head in Fortnite, Apex Legends, FIFA 19,
Here we go, the best players of the world,
and Super Smash Bros.
Special celebrity guest gamers and YouTubers. Drifter, Fangs, Queen of FIFA, and Team Martin will be in attendance.
There will be lots of free gameplay for PC gamers, console gamers, mobile gaming, and VR.
For more information and to register yourself or a team, visit gamersbaycayman.com.
Proudly sponsored by NetGeeks Media,
Mountain Dew,
C3 Pure Fiber,
Papa John's,
Department of Tourism,
Ministry of Education,
Kimpton Seafire Hotel,
Dolphin Discovery,
Cayman Turtle Center,
Hurley's Media,
Suzuki, Margaritaville Beach Resort, and Radio Cayman.
There are plenty of reasons to be a Logic customer. There's lightning fast internet connectivity. There's the great overall customer experience. And now, you can improve your Wi-Fi connectivity with Logic Boost Wi-Fi for free. With Boost, you can extend your freedom to stream, game, and download seamlessly anywhere in your home, like your patio or your underground lair if you have one. Sign up now for any Logic Bundle package and get free Boost Wi-Fi for a limited time. Visit logic.ky for details.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. Thanks for joining us. And in the studio, Miss Pamela Webster from East Shore as we tell you about, Armor. I like how you just put that together. Expo 2019, and it's coming up on the 4th of October. I'm thinking, today is mid-September. I joke about it, but it's going to be Christmas in short order. Unfortunately, a lot is going to happen between now and then. We better be prepared.
Yes. And actually, the holidays are coming up. So I always tell people, careful. One of my tips and tricks is Amazon will not email you asking for your credit card details. But, you can go online and check your order. But again, that's one of the things that when the holidays come around, to be careful for holiday scams. Mm-hmm. And still over 95% of these things all start by an email. And we know we're email experts. And lots, we're very happy about that. But you can come and listen to J. Peter Bruzzese at the Marriott October 4th because he will tell people how to be the human firewall and what to look out for and how to layer security on a common, wonderful product, Office 365, which is fantastic, but it's not secure on its own. There's just ways to get in. It's very easy when say 30% of all companies in the world now are using Office 365, it's pretty easy for me to pretend to be some random IT manager and ask you to reset your password. Or people think that firms are using Dropbox. So here, I'm urgently sharing a file with you, and this email that came out last week had my cell phone number. It has our company website. It looks pretty good, but what they're doing is compelling you to action something, wire transfer, click on something, share something, and unfortunately the bad guys are getting better, so we need our human resources and CEOs to lead the way from the engine room to the boardroom. That's why we have the ARMR conference. ARMR is to arm ourselves in business to avoid the nasty things.
And as I listen to recognize that so many times, many of us, we will, I go back to the very early days, set our limits and our restrictions so excessive that we don't get some of the things in the belief that we can, armor. But then at the end of the day, we miss out on a lot of the other things too because they're being filtered so heavily. And then later on, it's not only in junk, but it's never been delivered. We need to find that happy ground that is not, a big in position financially nor on the expertise.
And that's the thing. You can layer things on that are inexpensive.
Right.
Something that's going to give you a transit layer encryption, something that's going to be able to give you a large file send that's more secure than Dropbox or Box or any of those things. And we do tell people to try to avoid those because you're going outside your business now. So using a personal way to deliver some documents to a business client, it should stay within your business environment. So once you lose control of how people are sharing documents, you've lost control of your business. And so as a business owner, you need to really have good written policies and controls. System risk and controls is a new ISACA cybersecurity certification. And it makes sense, even for small businesses, know.
And understanding the terminology, being familiar and comfortable with it. With the technology, so that you can do it. Well, Miss Pamela Webster, I tell you, man, no matter which hat she wears, especially whenever she's talking IT, always so informed. I think Miss Susan shares we have a caller who wants to join us. Why don't we go to the phones and see?
Wow,
it's not mango season, but boy. Good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Well, it might as well be mango season because
yes, sir.
The conversation that I'm hearing there today, it seems to me that the internet is corrupt, and that the people who are providing services on the internet are not doing their job in protecting the users.
I listened to what you shared, and I think on one hand, when we see I'll let Miss Palm, but I'll share with the black hats and the white hats. We see the people there who are trying to find ways to be the snake oil salesman within that domain.
And actually, one of the third speakers that is coming on October 4th at the Marriott is Marshall Webb, who, again, started his university before he was a teenager. And his company called Path actually just a while ago saved a Caribbean phone company from that. So he is a good guy. And the phone companies are absolutely investing in things that will prevent, it's called DDoS, a denial of service, or, things that all flood into one small pipe. I do think that they are taking great precautions. It's just a matter of staying ahead of the bad guys. Marshall Webb, who will be one of the speakers, his partner had actually gone in and hacked the Russians who were trying to hack us. So, it goes around the world. But I will say that in the Caribbean, I just came from Canto last month in Trinidad, and that was the Caribbean Association of Telecom Providers. And security is the top of everyone's mind and the top of everyone's spend. So I can tell you the regional suppliers of internet are doing their very best. What we want to do is you've got people like Marshall, whose company will help the phone companies, and we are going to try to help the employers to teach their employees, what to click on and what's safe and just best practice.
Let me ask you this. It don't seem to me that it should be such a big job to make the user service that while he's using the internet safe. If all of these secondary tier people got the answers, why aren't they giving the answers to the manufacturers or the creators of these services that they are trying to sell to the public that's really not safe?
Well, there's a really good answer for that you can layer a lot of firewalls and a lot of IT and a lot of technology. But in 2019, we are seeing that 88% of all emails are coming from the inside out. So this is somebody, again, it's your social engineering. So what they're doing is, again, that example of somebody sending you a resume to your personal email address. You don't know if they're really legit, and you send it out. So it's social engineering, nothing really that an IT is going to be able to pick up. If you're trying to look on your Facebook or your LinkedIn or dating network, it's usually somebody trying to trick you that has nothing to do with the internet. It's basically one scammer trying to get you to do something like wire transfer or forward something or click on something, and that's really hard because this is social engineering.
Well, social engineering, but why can't we get to the engineering position to where we can identify anybody who is performing as a hacker or trying to hide with something? I mean, with all the technological advancements that's happened over the last, let's say 50 years, 60 years in my lifetime, it seems that the answers are there. It's just that, it's the buck that's driving all this. Make more money, but don't, you're not really too concerned about the end user, how safe his system would be if he bought your system.
Well, actually, they are doing it in the internet, and we are too, with the over 300 financial companies in the Caribbean using this. There are things that, again, 5 years ago there wouldn't have been any threat recognition software. It's advancing very quickly, and you can layer things on here that will stop it. Like I said, there's free things as well. Two-factor authentication and password managers and all those things that if you don't want to get your password out there to anybody, these are free. And again, if you want to email me, I'll send you my tips and tricks, and that's free too. That's Pamela@webster.ky. And, happy to help. I mean, education is what my passion, and for the Armor Conference, it's about education. And to help out in the community, the region, the Caribbean, eShore has actually given away 21 cybersecurity scholarships in the last 3 years. So we really do try to make education an arm, and free education a real arm of our business, so we can arm ourselves and arm our community and keep everybody. You don't have to be techie, just savvy, and we'll teach you how to do that.
Well, you said 5 years ago there was not all these threats. Let me say something to you. We did not have the internet, let's say 50 years ago, but there were threats within the cybersphere of what was going on back in those days. There was plenty of threats, and there were, I think, a lot of them were solved. So, but I think it comes right back. Everybody wants to make money, and here's an easy way to do it. But I think the gist of the whole industry has to get back to providing a service to the public that is safe for them to use on the internet, and it should be a simple task. You got 0 and 1.
Yes. Yeah, well, I hear you, and certainly interesting. Anything else you want to share with us, sir?
No, I just, because you hear the same story all over, and as you know, I kind of been in this sphere for a long time. Before the internet, when we were dealing with HF frequencies and ultra high frequencies and stuff like this. So it's I think they just need to cut to the chase and provide a product to the general public, an internet product that is safe to use.
Well, I'm hoping that we'll get there, and maybe we can, as I listen to, get to a place where people are starting to look more increasingly, at their or at our actions and behaviors Hey, thanks very much, sir. And I think as the caller reminds us, the behaviors of 50 years ago and the behaviors of today will dictate whether we have that ethos of integrity and honor and respectability, or whether it be a one as he shared. Are we looking on at how do we make life harder for this so that we can exploit, extract, and somehow extort people? Hey, thank you, sir. Ms. Palm, I know you got to get back to work, but the 4th of October isn't that far away, and your initiative not just arms people in terms of their safety and security, but you're going to benefit as part of the the Red Cross Hurricane Dwayne Bahamas Appeal Relief. Want to recap briefly for us and share some more?
Yeah, well, thank you. We were, sad that we had to move Armor Expo from Bahamas back to Cayman this year after being in Cayman twice and then Trinidad. But we're really pleased that the $99 ticket will go 100% to the Red Cross. And if you get your ticket before September 30th, it will be doubled. So coming to learn a little about best cyber practices, human resources, compliance, fantastic international authors and speakers, you'll actually be giving, each ticket will be, before September 30th, $200 donation to the Red Cross for Hurricane Dorian relief. And so we think it's a real win-win, and we hope their seats are limited. There's only 50 seats left, so please, October 4th, 12:30 at the Marriott. We will not sell tickets on the door, so you have to go to our webpage at www.armor, that's ARMOUR, expo.com, and there's a little event pro that will lead you to the link. And again, if you don't want to remember my long eShore address, I can give you the personal one, which is easy to remember, which is Pamela@webster.ky. And we'll send you the information or call eShore 946-3673. We're downtown in Georgetown. And we'll see you October 4th at Armor Expo.
All right. ArmorExpo.com. Thanks very much, Ms. Palm.
Great.
Always
Thank
a pleasure.
you.
Maybe one day we'll get a chance that your schedule allows you to be on the ground a little bit longer, and we can talk about some of those tips and trips and tricks and all the strategies that we can employ just within our own personal sphere to make ourselves a little bit more knowledgeable, but a lot safer.
Oh, I'll be happy to.
All right.
Absolutely.
ArmorExpo.com. Well, let's pause and take a break. And you always wonder about what's happening in our communities. Well, we see the business side. We see the opportunities for us to help, whether it's through an organization like the Heart Fund and Meals on Wheels. But when we come back, what about our children? Let's talk to our friends at Optimus Club and share with you. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio Cayman 3 to 6 mix on the weekdays.
Tune in, turn it up, listen.
Sponsored by the Cayman Islands Football Association, CIFA, building a better future for Cayman football. Savannah Pharmacy. Remember, they are always just around the corner with everything your family needs. And convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Every day. All the time.
Ultimate party show in the afternoon. Radio Cayman Supertown.
Always separate debris from household garbage after a hurricane hits. Debris includes roofing materials, downed tree branches, and metals. All items of debris must be placed in separate piles to the front of the property or at a side that is easily accessible to collection trucks. Debris must be placed in a location that will not cause obstruction to roadways or come in contact with electrical lines. For more post-hurricane waste management tips, visit the DEH website at www.deh.gov.ky.
Stay tuned.
Don't forget to tune in Monday through Friday for Radio Cayman's local evening sports report during the 6 p.m. news hour.
Taking a look at Radio Cayman's local sports, I'm Dion Anglin.
It is proudly brought to you by King Sports Center, providing your fitness, recreation, and relaxation needs.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecast, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
Cayman, get ready for this year's 2019 Fidelity Fun Run Series. Join us opposite John Gray High School for the first 3 Saturdays in September at 7:30 a.m. for an exciting 2-mile run. Whether you're a serious competitor looking for a fun family activity or you want to take an early stroll, the Fidelity Fun Run Series is the event for you. Strollers and pets are welcome, and we've got trophies up for grabs as well. Register today for the races on September 7th, 14th, and 21st. And get your Fun Run t-shirt. To register, visit CaymanActive.com for more information.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. Thanks for joining us, and thank you for all who continue to invest and involve themselves in our communities, and especially when it's something that can benefit our children, give our young people hope, give them a sense that there is great things that lie ahead. And I'm honored to now have a chance to talk about the Optimist Club with Ms. Gail Bell and Mr. Mark Ray. Ms. Gail, with the greatest respect to Mark, and I'll tell you, man, just seeing you rather than now in the studio and otherwise, it's an amazing, optimistic day. So good afternoon to you, man.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to all the listeners. I think the listeners don't know that we're gym buddies. we're trying to reverse the effects of old age every afternoon, right?
Yep. Well, you're achieving it. I tell you, man. I walk in some days, Mark, and I look out and I go, okay, I know this young lady, but it's only been less than 24 hours since I've seen her. Already 5 years younger. So she's solid the fountain of youth.
You gotta let me know which gym that is. I need to.
Yeah, man. We'll share it with you,
Yeah.
No, but it's a beautiful thing that people can in this small community realize how easy it is to build lasting, wonderful friendships. As I always tell people, you build bridges. You don't want to burn them. You build bridges and you extend a hand. Not because you're expecting something, but because you can offer something. And when we see our young people, when we see them encouraged and nurtured, when they're presented with something that is safe and exciting, and then you hear them, 10, 15, 20 years later sometimes, they're married now, they've finished university, or they've got their businesses, and there's a young child on the way, or that child is now starting school, and they say something to you, and you realize, I did that.
Yeah.
And that thing might have been no more than, say, come and have a piece of my mind, go. You just share with them some of the thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like people like you who actually do things meaningful, but, otherwise. So.
Yeah. Well, acts of kindness are always meaningful, so if anybody wants to share a mango with me any day of the year, I'll accept, and I'll tell you where you can deliver it.
There you go.
But that is what the Optimist Club is all about, and the Optimist movement across the world. Vice President Mark and I are just absolutely thrilled that we are optimists. We're proud to be optimists because our organization is a global service club. So some people in Cayman meet us and think we just started something called the Optimist Club. But we are in our centennial year. We started in 1919. It began in the States and moved over the border into Canada, and we're actually in the Caribbean since 1980. The first club, I believe, Caribbean club was Jamaica, and then we're in many islands in the Caribbean now, including Barbados, where Mark is from.
That's right.
Yes.
You're not from West Bay?
No, he's not from West Bay.
West Bay has kindly adopted me.
Somebody gonna say, boy, you really...
What did I just do there? Did I say the wrong thing?
Well, West Bay was my only saving grace as far as Sterling was concerned. But,
Now, Miss Gail, I'm thinking to myself now, Let me revisit my friendship with Mark.
He's a Bajan, as they say in Barbados. They say, I's a Bajan, he's a Bajan. But he's Caymanian at heart, as we all are. And the Optimist Club is completely committed to bringing out the best in the youth in Cayman and in our communities and in ourselves. And, you know, the whole history of our organization is absolutely fascinating. I was just... VP Mark and I, we were just talking actually about, some of the pinnacles when we thought we reached a pinnacle in each decade, in the 30s, in the 40s and so on. But there's some interesting tidbits that I'd love to share.
Yeah.
So
I would, and if I could ask.
Sure.
I was thinking how to word it. Say never ask a question unless you know the answer. But with respect to Optimist Club, 100 years, and it's not just in the US, but even into Canada. So I kind of reminded myself, for those who are not fully aware of it, if I could draw the sort of parallel with respect to, say, other service clubs like Lions, for instance, and there's the youth arm, there's the older arm, then there's the high school arm and the college arm and the women's arm and the men's arm and all these other legs and toes and fingers. For the Optimist Club, similar structure, or is it just for a particular age set?
No. Similar structure in the sense that, we don't separate genders. So the Optimist Club that we are in is an adult organization here in Cayman. We actually we're named the Optimist Club of Georgetown, but we're the only Optimist Club in Cayman. But wouldn't it be nice if we had one in West Bay? So that'd be that's a good idea.
That's right.
But yes, we do have youth clubs, and in fact, we have 2 youth clubs that we're working on right now. Fingers crossed. Those are called Joy Clubs because it's Junior Optimist International. And so we're hoping to have our first 2 Joy Clubs before the end of this month. We'll let you know. That will be breaking news, and you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook to see where they come from. But those students are absolutely excited about, joining something that has meaning. It will bring meaning to their lives and to their communities. So yes, we don't differentiate though between genders.
Well, something that I'm glad you shared that with me. And as the year unfolds, but even as well, I'm here and I'm pretty sure anybody else, when we can bring the needed publicity and awareness to good causes, certainly let us know. But equally, my sort of first introduction to the Optimist Club here was via a teacher a long time ago. I think the club was just, sort of getting, and there was a particular male student that she had. Wonderful young man, but somewhat quiet and reserved, unlike his father, who was, almost a politician, I would think. But and this teacher shared that you having the
oratorical
contest,
yes.
And as part of their speech and drama and English and the things that she would do to introduce, she used that tool and took the child. And I watched this fellow, chatting amongst us, okay, but getting in front of the class and talking about something was a bit nerve-wracking. Speaking even more in a wider school, more so, to a very short order, becoming to this day. He's graduated, he's, in life and business and doing things. But he shared with me. That helped him. The confidence he got, the presentation skills, not unlike you may get in public speaking and the like.
Sure.
And I thought, wow, a resource that isn't celebrated, isn't publicized, isn't accessed to the extent.
That the oratorical contest is something that VP Mark heads, that project, so he can speak more to it. But it's one of the flagship.
Yeah.
It's a flagship program, and it's the most, I think, popular program within Optimist International.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think, respectfully, Mr. Mark, Ms. Susan, are you going to require us to take... one of these days this year, going to find a license and leave it and say, listen, no more breaks for a while. But until that happens, maybe I'll have to own my own radio station. We have to pause. I know we got a lot of things we want to cover in a short time, but I'm always honored to be in your company and to learn more about Optimist. So when we come back, we'll tie it up in a bow. We'll see what we can do. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Aw, look at you, killing it at this parenting thing. Ever had a moment where you had a horrible day at work and you overindulged with alcohol? Or when you spoke out loud about how badly you needed a drink, not realizing your child was in the back seat? Parents, you have a significant influence in your children's decision to experiment with alcohol and other drugs. Let's reduce underage drinking and substance use amongst our youth. It starts with one conversation. This message is brought to you by the National Drug Council and Radio Cayman. For more information, log on to ndc.ky.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's back. And this year, it's bigger and better than ever. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman presents PACE, the 8th annual Delano Hislop Memorial Journey for Life, 5K walk, 10K run, and introducing the all-new 15K ride event. That's right, parents, kids, young and old. Come out on Sunday, September 22nd at the all-new starting location at the all-new Jasmine Building, adjacent to Coconut Joe's parking lot. Also, participants who raise the most funds can win one of our 3 grand prizes, $250 for third place, $500 for second place, or the $1,000 grand prize. Other random prizes will be available on site. So Cayman, it's time to get active. Sign up today at caymanactive.com/pace to be a part of the 5K walk, 10K run, and the all-new 15K ride event. Sponsored in part by DART, CUC, Cayman Water Company, the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association, Consolidated Water, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, Water Authority Cayman, Borden Holdings, BF Insurance, Cineco, and the Maples Group.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Super Stitch Sewing and Fabric Center. Super Stitch Sewing and Fabric Center is your one-stop shop for all of your sewing and alterations, fabrics, household items, craft items, jewelry, beads, and decorations. Call Super Stitch at 949-2833 or email customer care at superstitch.com.ky. Super Stitch, located 39 Pasadora Place, Smith Road, still offering the best prices in town.
The Breeze Fusion is back Saturday, November 2nd.
Bigger and better.
Now featuring a 5K walk run and a 10K run for half marathon trainers. Join the fun and help raise funds for the Central Scranton Park and the NCVO. Save the date or register now at caymanactive.com or at Radio Cayman Studios. Registration is only $15 if registered by September 30th. And all early registrants enter to win a Cayman Airways voucher.
The Breeze Fusion 5K, 10K walk run.
Saturday, November 2nd.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome, Mike. Thanks for joining us. And again, I say this, very grateful that we have a strong sense of community in our society. A lot of people who give generously, willingly, and so graciously with their time, their talent, their treasure. And as we talk about the Optimist Club, President Ms. Gail Bell together with VP Markery. And as we get into a discussion, time goes fast when you have fun. Put 2 SPs in a room, man, and next thing you know, no, but Mark, the idea, and for me, it's our young people that is so crucial. And I like that's what the emphasis of the Optimist has been. But share with us some more, Mr. Mark.
Yeah, definitely. So I think we are unique when we start to think of service clubs in Cayman because our focus is wholly and solely on young people. And we want to provide the best possible opportunities for them. And we do that in a number of ways. We have various contests that they can participate in. We do various service projects. We do things to encourage them to join with us and participate. We do non-academic things. We had a sports initiative. So the idea is to keep them engaged, rounded, and with these opportunities, as you were talking about, to help build a sense of community. Because at the end of the day, when we think of optimism, optimism is hope. And we can only have hope for the future through our young people.
Yeah, man.
So that's all about what we do. We are just focused on young people and trying to bring the best possible opportunities to them.
All right. Well, with that, I know you have a number of things coming up.
Yes, we do.
It's so encouraging when we see that there's so much unfolding in our society. And unfortunately, we are busy people. We get caught up in some things, and then all of a sudden something has happened. You go, oh, that happened? I would like to have known.
Right.
Well, heads up. Yeah,
that's why we're here.
Yeah,
so thank you so much. This Saturday, actually, we're participating in International Beach Cleanup Day. So that's a global initiative, and there's no reason why we shouldn't join the global movement. So we will be at our new club venue, which is South Sound Community Center. Consuelos Beach, and we'll be there from 8 to 11 doing cleanup, and everybody is invited, the entire public. Please come out, please support us. We'll have gloves, garbage bags, and we'll also have some other persons, manpower with some rakes and so on, and we hope that we're going to give the National Works Agency lots of bags, to collect, because we'll have done such a good job. So that's double-edged, because of course you don't want to have a lot of stuff to clean up. But yes, we feel that it's very, very important that we engage in our community. And again, there's no age limit. It's for the young and the young at heart. So that's how, we all here at this table will qualify to be there, the young at heart. And then on the 27th, we have a corporate dress down day. And so we've been sending out emails for persons who are interested. They can reach out to us at optimistkman@yahoo.com. And it's all about purchasing our T-shirts. The artwork for the T-shirts was done by a young Caymanian artist, and it actually shows a circle, and that's the circle of life, and it's bringing everything together. It's in yellow, because yellow is a color for childhood cancer, and then 3 turtles for the 3 Cayman Islands. So it's beautiful artwork. It's nicely done, and we have 3 different color variations. So if persons want to do Dress Down Day, the T-shirts are $25 for adults and $15 for kids. And so you don't have to leave the office to be a part of an initiative where it's a fundraiser. All funds, all proceeds are going to go to the Cayman Islands Cancer Society for children and their families here who are struggling, with childhood cancer, because as we all know, or some people don't know, children who have cancer in Cayman must go off island. There are no facilities to help those children, and the Optimist Club is very committed to helping those families of Caymanian children to keep their family and their lives going, because it's a very, very challenging time financially and emotionally, in every way.
In every way.
In every way. So we are working with the Cayman Islands Cancer Society, and last year, as a matter of fact, we donated over 10,000 CI dollars, which will go a far way. So we're really hoping that people will support our initiative on the 27th. Friday the 27th, it's a dress down day. So if you have a tiny office, a big office, it doesn't matter. We'd love if you would contact us, buy some of our T-shirts. If you don't want to, if that's not convenient for you, you don't want to do it on the 27th, you can do it on any day that you want. It's just that we are celebrating, all that we can do to give hope for children fighting cancer.
Hope, that's important. We want to live in a world where there's hope, right, and there's help.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
I love this place, man. I'm telling you, every time I think I can't love it anymore, I get a chance to be with people, company of people like you, and I'm reminded how blessed we are.
And you are officially a friend of Optimist, which is actually a designation, Mark,
yes,
that we have.
We have.
You want to talk a little bit about?
Sure. Yeah, so we do have friends of Optimist that, they're folks who we can always count on to support the initiatives. They sometimes come out to our various events and lend their support, but they're not official members. We always want members in our club, definitely. But if you can't commit the time, if you think, I would like to help out this club, but I can't commit the time, Friends of Optimist, absolutely. So you can contact us and we can officially, you are already, but I'm talking to the general public and officially make you a friend of Optimist.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I'm honored, and I say this to our people, it's thankfully, there are a lot of us who do things quietly. Some people don't even know. They may support a particular walk or a particular initiative. And nobody needs to know. You don't need to, come back in bells.
Sure.
But I'm also glad that there are people like you guys who, in all the other obligations that you have, you make time to come out and champion it so that the public can not only be aware, but they can get involved, they can become informed, and they can invest, whether their time, the talent, the treasure. Because many hands do make light work. Right?
Yeah. And we do believe it's important for not only us to contribute to these wonderful opportunities for young people, but our members themselves. We believe in developing our members because we want us to be our best selves so that we can be even better for others.
Right.
And we have a personal growth and involvement program that our club members actually undertake to do some self-improvement, to grow professionally and personally. So there are a number of initiatives that they can go through, speeches, community projects, different things. And they work their way through, and we have a little passport here for them. And they go through and we check it off, and they can attain different levels. But the point is development and making sure that you yourself are in a good place to support initiatives and young people.
Personal growth and development, man. If I might, for those who are interested either in perhaps becoming prospective members, perhaps helping out in some initiatives, otherwise, I do recognize the time, and I'm hoping, excuse me, I've been talking a lot today, man. Yeah, even before I got on air, this is my show.
That's the nature of is even the name of the show.
Talking.
Exactly.
But I was talking before I came to work, and I think like Miss Norma Pot tells me, save your voice till you get on air. We're not paying you to talk before that. No, but I had a chance to learn some good things early, and sometimes you got to talk, right? But for those who want more information about it, I mean, and I want you to come on again and again and again and again.
Sure.
Because optimists, I like to be optimistic.
Thank you. And as a matter of fact, this evening is one of our meetings. We meet on the 1st and the 3rd. We meet on the 1st and the 3rd Tuesdays of every month at the South Sound Community Centre from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So it's twice a month. 1 hour or a little chops more. And we'd love to have people come up. You don't have to make an appointment to speak to anybody prior, nothing like that. But if you'd like to reach out to either myself or VP Mark, my cell number is 322-5589 and VP Mark
916-2844.
And we have an email which is optimistkman@yahoo.com.
It's remarkable that in your professional capacity, in your personal lives, you always, still find time to serve. And Madam Speaker, let the record reflect that he's received the Optimist Creed.
Yeah.
And say, promise yourself to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. I remember the last time you read that to me, and I kind of, I didn't memorize it, but I remember the thing. All right. So to talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet, to make all your friends feel that there's something in them, to look at the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true, to think only of the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best, to be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own. That's it, to forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future, to wear a cheerful countenance at all times and give every living creature you meet a smile. Hey, even me could do that, huh? To give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others. And it says to be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That, my friend, sort of embodies what we should all strive for.
Yeah, definitely.
I like it, and that's the notion of being optimistic, but equally of being of value and of service. To see Miss Gail in evening as well, I'm always encouraged, huh?
Yeah. And she's doing her battle ropes, huh?
You see her, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I am.
You guys wait. I'm first with my pink gloves. And that's okay.
I'm not talking to the school. No, but honestly, I would like as you are able to come on, and remind people that.
Thank you very much. I mean, we appreciate the opportunity because so many people, when we do things and they get to know who we are, they go, oh, we didn't know. It's like we're the best kept secret. We are the best kept secret. No more.
No.
We are the Optimist Club
The best, huh?
of Georgetown, Grand Cayman.
All right. Well, come back on. So we got the clean up the International Beach Cleanup Day this Saturday.
This Saturday.
8 to 11?
8 to 11 at South Sound Community Centre.
Okay, so students who need community hours,
Absolutely.
good way to come out and learn more in fellowship, but also contribute.
Yeah.
And of course, the following Friday, there's a dress down day.
Yes,
$25 for a nice T-shirt.
Yes, and they can contact either Mark or myself, or they can send us an email.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, appreciate it very much. Miss Gail, God's willing, I'll see you very soon.
Yes, thank you so much.
And then, okay, Mark, as we drive, northbound on the A1A. Let's see how, West Bears and Bajans, we're one and the same.
One and the same. One and the same.
I mean,
absolutely.
So it's here. All right, well, as a fellow civil servant, man, enjoy it, continue to follow the creed, not only for the optimists, but, to make us world class.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dwayne, for having us.
Thank you much. Give my love and respect, equal to Mr. Lane.
Thank
you.
Will do.
We will. All right. To our listeners, listen, if you can't love and laugh and smile and contribute in this society, hey, when you come back, let me tell you how. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio K-Man. Radio K-Man's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
The Health Services Authority responds to a statement from the Anti-Corruption Commission on charges laid on 2 former hospital security staff members. On Monday, the ACC confirmed 57-year-old Nick Smith from Georgetown has been charged with 1 count of breach of trust and 2 counts of false accounting. 41-year-old Dominic Dakers from Spots has been charged with 1 count of obtaining a pecuniary advantage by deception. The HSA says they've concluded its internal investigation into overtime claims and payments in the authority's security department. They confirm they will now be taking next steps in the internal disciplinary proceedings. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines and news elsewhere. The U.S. has reportedly identified locations in Iran from which drones and cruise missiles were launched against major Saudi oil facilities on Saturday. Senior U.S. officials told media outlets that the locations were in southern Iran at the northern end of the Gulf. Saudi air defenses did not stop the drones and missiles because they were pointed southwards to prevent attacks from Yemen. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is fighting to hold on to power as voters go to the polls in one of its closest election races in years. He called the snap election after failing to form a governing coalition in the wake of an election in April. And big money streaming deals for Seinfeld and The Big Bang Theory have been done, proving the pulling power for familiar TV shows as the streaming wars heat up. All 12 seasons of The Big Bang Theory will be on HBO Max when it launches next spring after a $500 million deal. Netflix has won the rights to Seinfeld, reportedly also for more than $500 million. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
Radio K-Man, the voice of the Cayman Islands. What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio K-Man is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio K-Man.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. 949-8837. 949-6990. What's that? Or you can send us your thoughts on our WhatsApp, 925-3261. I think that's the number. Got to be one of those that can work for you. Well, let's conclude our program like we started. Let's have some open line and share with you as you wish to share with us what is on your mind. And as I was having a chance to go through our programming for today and reflect on the different conversations that we had earlier, increasingly drawn to the conversation I had with the gentleman earlier this morning. Grateful, honestly, not just for the counsel, not just sometimes for seemingly the confidence that people place in you, but the notion that they're willing to take you in confidence and share with you things, and then sometimes without any great fanfare or without any sort of notion of a hidden agenda, they want to share with you their thoughts with a view that they might, once shared a little bit more publicly, allow people to hear it, perhaps in an impartial, objective way, so that they can weigh, the thoughts, the sentiments, perhaps bring within the discussion a perspective that otherwise mightn't be had. Now, if you're just joining us, if you don't recall exactly what I was trying to share earlier, I had a chance to chat with a gentleman who was sort of relaying some of his sentiments in relation to what the future of Cayman is, what the present is looking like, and to recognize that some of the things that transpired in the past weren't always, to our long-term good, and certainly we did not take and build upon the good works that were done, and instead, we've sort of not only been disrespectful, but deliberately, or at the very least, unconsciously, made a mess of the foundation and undermine what otherwise could be a great thing for generations more as we go into the future. But as he took his sort of, I call it a notepad, his sketchbook, and he unfolded it on one page, separated by that spiral metal ring, he sketched one vision of what perhaps a downtown Georgetown could look like, and then on the other page, a different view. On one hand, a very futuristic sort of setting, and the other, well, maybe a little bit more of what we think a Caribbean island could look like. Lower sort of density buildings that are not seen as iconic skyscrapers, but the future and the past laid side by side. And he said, whatever the notion, maybe the two could coexist. But even if we didn't, maybe we'd develop something differently. His sentiments were simply that where is the human element, the human scale, that human impact? Not just this development on the people, but the people on the development, on the infrastructure, on the future. And he shared that perhaps it's to one extent that we have, on one hand, may have been too harsh and critical of government, whether that's elected or appointed, our politicians, or maybe we haven't been sufficiently willing to hold them accountable, because in many cases there are families and there are friends, there are business partners, they may even have been us. And when we looked in the mirrors at times, are we looking with a sense of, truly appreciating that we didn't do all we could in the best manner that we could? Now, he shared that maybe because of where he's at, maybe because of what has transpired, he can take and now look at it. Because for some who may say after they reach a certain age that, they're looking at the other side, they're not necessarily, willing to be as ambitious with respect to their career endeavors, or, where is that next million going to come from? Yes, preserving what they have, perhaps making sure there's a nest egg, perhaps ensuring there's a legacy for future generations. But you start to think, now, maybe you only get a luxury when you experience certain things or you attain certain things. But what is your thought? Now, 949-8037 or a toll-free call with the kind compliments of Flo at 1-800-534-8255. Want to hear from you? Have you share your thoughts with us? It is a Tuesday, and as we look at it, we recognize that it was only just the other day. I joke and jest whether we were talking about, celebrating New Year's Eve, or whether we were eating candy because it was Valentine's, or whether we were, enjoying the Easter or whatever it was. As we enter these last few months of this year, as we reflect that, 15 years ago, was it that long ago, Miss Susan, that Hurricane Evan, or whether we trying still to figure out how we're going to help our friends or family or colleagues over in the Bahamas as we worry about whether there are any more impending storms, will there be other future disasters, not next year, not 10 years, but before the hurricane season officially draws to a close. What about unexpected, unplanned for events that could occur in the natural realm? What about investments that go south, business relationships that go sideways? Now, your thoughts and to what extent, what are potentially some of the solutions that we could offer up. 949-8037 or toll free with the compliments of Flo at 1-800-534-8255. Now, the final thing that I want to share in relation to what the gentleman was relaying, he said quite simply, perhaps something that may have occurred recently, and I want to draw the inference. It could be recently, meaning sometime this year, or recently in the last decade. But as he referenced it, it seemed that he, like perhaps many of us, may have believed that we were in a setting amongst friends and family in a safe environment, and you say something, you're just thinking out loud, as it were, or you ask a question. And he said, as he sort of presented this thought, this comment, the response from some, he thought, wow, if you're not able to make such a sentiment publicly amongst this setting, then when can you? Now, I'll share with you what I thought he said. Let's go to our phones first, though. Good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Hi, good afternoon again today, Dwayne. How are you?
Excellent. How about yourself?
I am absolutely fabulous today, Dwayne. Dwayne,
yes,
I see where my mango seeds starting to bud.
Good for you, girl. Good for you.
So Dwayne, I'm saying how to stop buying mangoes now, Dwayne.
No, you see, you buy more, and then you just make them, before you know, you have a grove.
Yeah, well, I gonna have to do just now you were talking about how you impact somebody just by sharing the mangoes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the little things that really impact us, really. You have so much more potential to do a whole bunch of little things than to do one great thing.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody reserve their energies from doing a whole bunch of little things because they want to do one great thing, but it could affect so many people all day long.
Right.
With a whole bunch of little things.
True.
But, yeah. Maybe become wiser. Speaking about becoming wiser, we need to become wiser in our voting behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
Mean to say that this island is discontent with the leadership that it now has is a very soft word. Because I was on the phone today talking with someone who was speaking about we need to push the government, the opposition, to make a vote of no confidence. It has gotten to that point. And the discussion that I was having was because of, apparently, I did not listen into the show today.
Mm-hmm.
So what I am saying is second-hand information, so please pardon me for any inaccuracies that is in there. But there was apparently a group of students that was on another talk show earlier this morning, and the government, said to them, you basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, you're misleading the public, you don't have the right information. Why don't you come to our office and let us talk with you?
Mm-hmm.
Now, hasn't the country been crying for information from the government all along? Is it just these 3 young children who have gone on the radio and said, this and that, but we need more information? Hasn't the historic referendum been triggered because the country was crying for information? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we know that the Freedom of Information Act was put in place because it is a pillar in democracy, right? But information in this country is so disregarded, so disposed of by the government, and in particular this PPM government that we have in power. And so then if you are withholding critical information from the populace, from everybody, and especially from the voter, what sort of government truly are you? You're a manipulative government. You are dictatorial. You withhold information so that you can manipulate the public like puppets on a string, because you're only, spoon-fed this thing. We jump around based on which strings it is that you pull on your fingers, because we don't have the relevant information to make wise decisions, right? Now, why are we at this point? We are at this point because we, the electorate, have election after election after election said, boy, something got changed. We can't live like this no longer. I remember when, you'll name out the years. We'll talk about the 80s and we'll talk about the 70s. We'll speak of the era where corruption was not evident, right? Because it's very, very evident today.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, Dwayne, we went to the polling booth and we put down our X's for the same people election after election while our lives got worse and worse. The situation got worse, our money got smaller, our bills got higher, our situation got more desperate, and we went back in the polling booth and we put down the same X beside the same names that has brought us to the same position every 4 years, impoverished. You know, Dwayne, there's a category in the 2017 census, which was completed in 2018. It is this census that the government has told us that, unemployment dropped so drastically under this government. You go look at the census has a new category in it, and it's called at home. So because they are at home, they are not registered in the unemployed section, but they're at home. They don't have no job. They're not employed. They're unemployed. But when they constructed it this way, it seemed as though our unemployment dropped. That's not true. This type of information and stuff that the government does not want the public to know, but it is the truth. All right? Now, when we have a government that is manipulating information to the public and causing us to believe that we are in such a fine and dandy state, while NAU cannot process the applications and the money needed to keep people with roof over their heads by paying rents on time and being evicted. NAU, a government entity, causing people to be evicted because they are not able to hold up their obligation as a contractor, as a public authority to a private citizen, so that another human being in the country can have the right to safe shelter. And they're unable to do so because they're understaffed and they're underfunded, and they got some great people in NAU. But the problem is that they don't have all the tools that they need to work with. All right? But the government making us to believe that everything is fine and dandy. Or unemployment has dropped. New jobs have been increased. But NAU is fighting. Every day those people come to work. They don't know what the public going to hit on with. The public is all frustrated. All right? And understandably so, because they're very desperate. And NAU is trying to get as much done as they can get done. But if NAU's population, their client base is growing, and the government is telling us that things is okay with us, something is wrong, because the proof in the NAU pudding shows us that something is seriously wrong in our economy, in the Caymanian income, in Caymanian employment, in the Caymanian living situation. We are one of the top 10 countries financially in the world, one of the bottom 100 social structures, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why we here, Dwayne, is because we vote the same way over and over and over. Every election we go in and we put our X's beside the same names. Now it's time for us to step away from that madness. In AA, you say insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. We need to get away from this insanity.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And maybe some would say it's a salient point. I was going to say otherwise. Thanks. Let's pause though. Let's reflect on what our caller shared, and maybe when we come back, invite you to say as you wish. Join us again after the break.
Are you a natural performer? Can you sing, dance, or play an instrument? Are you known as a gifted comedian? Older persons who can do a star turn are invited to call the Department of Children and Family Services on 949-0290 today. Sign up by Monday, 30th of September to be one of the acts to perform in next month's big stage event on the 10th of October at the Hartwell Theatre during Older Persons Month.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
The Cayman Islands Cancer Society presents Conquering Cancer 6. Let's fight cancer together. This event will offer you information about new and innovative ways of screening, diagnosing, and treating cancer. Come and learn from the top medical professionals from leading healthcare providers from near and far. The event takes place at the Marriott Beach Resort the 21st of September. This interactive health fair is free to the public of all ages and will include free healthcare screenings for glucose level, blood pressure, BMI, and cholesterol, as well as free health food samples.
Radio Cayman's premier health show,
For the Health of It, with Tara Bush,
is brought to you on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on 89.9 and 93.9 FM. Proudly brought to you by the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association. For more information on how you can become a member or the benefits of the CICSA, please visit www.cicsa.ky. For your convenience, the CICSA offices are open on Mondays from 9 to 12 p.m. and Thursdays from 1 to 4 p.m.
For the Health of It, with Tara Bush.
The Breeze Fusion is back Saturday, November 2nd.
Bigger and better.
Now featuring a 5K walk run and a 10K run for half marathon trainers. Join the fun and help raise funds for the Central Scranton Park and the NCVO. Save the date or register now at CaymanActive.com or at Radio Cayman Studios. Registration is only $15 if registered by September 30th. And all early registrants enter to win a Cayman Airways voucher.
The Breeze Fusion 5K, 10K walk run.
Saturday, November 2nd.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. It is open line. And just about 5 minutes left in today's program as we go to our phones. Welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Sterling.
Hi, how are you, Mom?
I am sweating a lot.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
And even more since the last caller just now. Listen, Sterling.
Yes, Mom.
About the NAU, that is such a poor situation that they don't even answer the phone. If you get a direct number for them, it's still not answering. It's still not getting nothing back.
Right.
Listen, Sterling. I have called there a couple of months ago anyway, and that's coming back.
But you know, sometimes, and just generally speaking, but maybe with them, it may be unfortunate that they bear the brunt of all of the sort of criticism and that they have. Maybe they're understaffed, under-resourced, underfunded. There's such a growing need that perhaps as a country we're not yet, able to devote sufficient resources. Maybe there's a way to divert some that is in one area to put it over there. Maybe.
They got plenty and too much in many places, and you're still not getting nothing done like that, So the woman that caller just now said about understaffed and no resources and all that. Everything she said was so true. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was so true. That was where she do her business just like me.
Yes, well.
Yeah, for Sterling, I not really missing anything.
No.
If video came out, no, I don't miss came on 27. You know why? So I don't watch TV, so I don't miss it. But this radio came on. If the CUC thing get tripped out, I got my my two radios, the transistor and the one now that I got turned down now, loaded with batteries.
There you go.
All I got to do pull one cord for the big one, and I turn on the other little one. Even when you get a little bit of technical business going on, yeah. But hey, thank God for radio came on.
Amen. Yes, well.
Like what Julia said, the best thing that ever happened to came on.
Well, it is a true honor. I know for the staff here to how to maintain ourselves so that we are able to be presented in a respectful way to inform, in a timely way.
Yeah. So Sterling.
Mm-hmm.
Because he spoke now about the government. The government. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So I made some calls from November. You hear what I say, sir? I know you heard me.
Last year, November.
Mm-hmm. And I get no return, nothing. If they ever answer us, I talk to you later. Hello? Later never comes. About soon come? That won't come either. Anyway, so I go on now, because I got to go tend to some of my laundry. So I got to take out the machine and cause,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't even use a dryer, I just use the line. But no, I'm not going to put in the hot sun either. I got a spare room that my son got lines in there, and I go and hang them up in there.
There you go. All right, well, you take care and enjoy it and try to stay hydrated. At least, don't go out in the sun too long so that you get, too exhausted. And as the caller shared, it is a bit hot. Now, there are those of us who probably don't appreciate that at some point in the year, there are people who come from far who would, for a week or two, for as long as they can, soak up the heat and the sunshine, because where they're from, they don't see much of it for many hours of the day. You live here all year round, you don't quite appreciate that. So with that in mind, let's do all we can. If we live and work here, whether we are able to trace our ancestral roots back for generations, whether we're not long, of the soil, let's do all we can collectively in unity, a genuine sense of community and spirit, and a sense of duty, obligation, and a positive, optimistic outlook to make this place as safe, secure, as nurturing, as stable, as civilized as possible. You may not recognize it, but your simple act of doing something good, proper, of just, that's right. Each person did that. How much better would it be? Think about it. Everybody stopped at a stop sign, followed the, sort of the road rules. Wouldn't that be safer than if everybody drove full speed, ignoring the red lights and the stop signs, and drove on the sidewalks? Think about it. And even if one person was to do that, could that not create a lot of havoc for everybody else? Easy to do when you are in control of what you're doing. Well, have a wonderful afternoon. Come back tomorrow for more Talk Today right after the midday news. Of course, we invite you to start out your mornings, enjoy a good programming here on Radio Cayman, and be with Mr. Hart for the record. And then stay tuned for Talk Today, and then join us for News Flex in the afternoon. As the call is shared, it is Radio Cayman's genuine commitment and pleasure to be the community station. Not just, before, during, and after the storm as we share, but, all year, all day, all the time. If we can make it better, if there's something that you think helps, let us know. If we can do it, we will. One thing for sure, we'll always endeavor to improve whenever we can. Now, I know Miss Susan is right there, and if all you got to do is just listen, because she's going to play the good songs, and if there's something that you want to hear and not quite sure, she'll find it for us. And if it fits in with her segment, she'll play it. If it's for another, she'll share it. All right. Let's see what we can do to make it better. Until tomorrow, be blessed.
Talk Today is brought to you by Fidelity Bank. For all your banking needs, visit fidelitygroup.com. Fidelity, we're good for you.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.